Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full practice. I do these full practices every week, and I intertwine a theme, and we usually focus on a certain pose or a series of poses. And so this week, we're focusing on foundation. And it's super important because the foundation will hold the structure up, but you also need a foundation to have like a fulfilled life as well. So if you like these practices, please subscribe. And if you have a comment or an idea for a class, let me know. I'd be happy to look into that. So let's get started. Just start with the nice steady seat, right? You can use your hands for a moment and just sit up as tall as you can. And today we're going to focus on, I forgot to mention it, a hand balance, or like a handstand leading into handstand, many variations of it that are accessible to most, the incline plank being the main one. So from this foundation of closing the eyes and feeling Mula Bandha, which is pelvic floor, right? Just engaging in it, just enough to hold you up. And then Mula Bandha right below the belly button, lifting upward. Uddiyana means flying upward. And then draw the chin down. That's Jalandhara Bandha. That seals in the energy. And then with the bandhas engaged, you have that foundation supported so you can release the hands and just focus on the breath. The inhalations, the exhalations, nice even breaths. And then we'll take the hands together in prayer position, and we'll start the practice by vibrating in Om, all the sounds of the universe. Aum. So taking a breath in. Just as a sturdy foundation is crucial for the stability and longevity of a physical structure, a strong foundation is essential for a meaningful and fulfilling life. If the foundation is firm, the building can withstand calamities. The practice of yoga is the foundation so that the self is not shaken under any circumstances. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. So let's start working on our foundation. We'll start on all fours. We're going to make our way up to standing for Sun Salutations. So just start to round the spine for a moment. Pulling the belly way in, you can press down to really lift up and hollow out, right? So from within, hollowing out. And then inhale, come forward and start to arch the back. Don't lead with your chin, lead with the sternum. And then exhale, round the spine again. Let's just go ahead and take this to downward facing dog. So exhale, pressing with the hands, finding that firmness in the upper body, and then reaching through the lower body. And if you needed to, you could bend and straighten a couple times, just really finding that opening. I always feel my calves, the first one I do. It feels nice though to be opening it up. And then from here, we're gonna slowly just make your way up. Take your time, you can go as wide as you want. I like to really get that sense that I'm pressing with the hands to walk the feet up. But do the best you can. And then once you're here, just kind of hang here. You can even just grab the elbows for a moment, straighten the legs. We're just making our way up to standing, but nice and gently. So release the hands. And this, you could bend the knees slightly if you needed to. Start to curl up. So you're pulling the belly in to create some lift as you curl up, stacking the spine one vertebra at a time. So just breathing, exhaling, stacking, lifting. Uncurling the spine, you're coming all the way up. The shoulders will fall into place and then the head arrives. Take a moment, just pause. And then we step everything together in Samastitihi, standing still and straight and ready to start the Sun Salutations. And before we start, just letting you know, today's practice, I'm going to be using 2 yoga blocks and a little towel. You could use an exercise band or a yoga belt. Or you could just do the best you can without the props. So here we go. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Feel the belly draw back as you do that. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And exhale, take your body back to plank. Let's hold the plank. This is an important pose today. So really see if you can widen across your back and take your tail under. You're not collapsed. And then we're gonna slowly, I like to take the knees down. It assists me in my push-up. Slowly, the elbows draw back and a little widening across the back, and then rise up. Trying to build a little strength by doing that. And then come forward for your upward facing dog. So feel as though you were lifting the sternum up and back, up. And then maybe the tail comes under so you're not compressing in your low back, and lift way up. And then from here, we take it back to downward facing dog. And breathing, inhale and exhale. Don't forget the connection to the bandhas, especially Uddiyana. You really want the belly in, not pushing out. Really pull that in. Really press with your arms. Get a lot of length here. Press with your heels. And then bend the knees. Look at a spot where you're going to put your feet and just press down with the hands and start to make your way up as lightly as you can. And then fold. Inhale, lengthen, and rise, reaching. And exhale, hands come down. And we'll do that again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Really pull the belly in. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And let's go ahead and take it back. Hold the plank. And then lower, keeping that nice plank. And rise. Let's scoop through. Upward facing dog. Tail is under. Sternum lifts, a gaze down the nose, then maybe the head will come back. And exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Really keep that belly lifted. Inhale and exhale. Looks much better and feels much better to have it lifted than it does. Watch my belly. Here. No. Here. That gives us a sense of lightness. So from here, let's make the way up to the front. It also helps if you want to walk up and really lift, and fold. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise up. And exhale, hands down. We're going to come into Surya Namaskar B, bend the knees. I'm going to use the blocks for height. Reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. And if you're using the blocks, you'll feel the lift here. Lift the heels and try to keep your shoulders where they are if you can, and float back, or you could walk back. And then same thing here, we're gonna lower and rise. Coming through, feel that sternum lift and the tail under, gazing down the nose and then back. And then take it back, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg, but press your left heel down and take your chest towards your left leg. And then pull your belly in, lift your belly, and put the foot down. And the blocks made that easier. And now inhale here, we're gonna reach the arms, but just gaze straight ahead for a moment. And then let's bend the back knee and try to take that tail under, right? Just get a stretch on the hip flexors of the back leg, you might feel that. And then the front butt is really supporting you. Now try to straighten your back leg as best you can. And then start to take the arms back, but don't take the head yet. It's very tempting to lead with the head. Take the arms, really open there. Then slowly take the head where it will go. Breathing. And then inhale here. I'm feeling the foundation in the legs really strong here, especially the right butt. As I reach forward, it's pulling back. Take the hands down. Step back and lowering. And rise and come through. Big breath in. As you lift the sternum, the tail is under, and then take it back, downward facing dog. And we'll go to the other side now. So lifting the left leg, taking your chest towards your right leg, and then pull the belly way in and lift that foot up there. And then from there, we're gonna reach the arms and just keep your gaze straight ahead, down the nose, straight ahead, reaching up. Bend the back knee. Take that right butt under, the tail under, so you get a nice hip flexor stretch on the right side. And then start to slowly straighten the leg. Lift the sternum now. Start to take the arms back first. Arms, arms, arms. And then gazing down the nose slowly. Maybe the head will come too. Inhale. Reach forward, feel the strong foundation of the left butt pulling back as you reach the arms. Take the hands down. Step back. And now we're going to lower and rise and come through. Lifting the sternum, tail is under, gazing down the nose and then back. And then take it back, downward facing dog. Pull the belly in. Breathe, inhale. And exhale. Nice long breaths. Inhale and exhale. Find a target up at the front where you're going to want to lightly put your feet, bend the knees, push down, lift up, lightly land, and fold or walk up. And bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Good. One more. Bend the knees. Reach the arms, inhale, and exhale. The belly is lifted here too. As you look up, try to keep the shoulders where they are and lift up, back. And then from there, lowering, tail stays under, push back up, coming through, sternum is lifted, tail is under. This time I'm going to roll over the toes. But whatever works in your body, of course. Reach, step up, start in a high lunge, and then rise up, take that back heel down, take the hands together, keep looking straight ahead for today, and just take your arms back. You could even have them apart if that was feeling better. Take them back, take them back. We're finding warrior one. Now that your foundation is set, start to take your gaze back. And breathe. I can really feel the legs supporting me. Inhale, rising up, reaching, reach, lift your back heel, and step back. And then let's lower, and rise, and come through. Lifting the sternum, and take it back. Other side. So lift the left leg, and then pull the belly in, lift the knee up, step it forward. Reach the arms. And once you're here, rise up, take the back foot down, coming into warrior one. Don't take your head back yet. Reach the arms, lift the sternum. Feel the legs strong. Reach the arms, lift the sternum. Now, maybe you can gently start to take the head back. Breathing. And then we come forward, feeling those legs really strong. You can lift the back heel and step back. And now lowering down and rising up and come through. Inhale, lifting the sternum, and exhale, downward facing dog. And then we just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Stay connected to your breath. Keeping the lift of your belly. Couple more breaths. Find that target that you're going to lift up to. Push down with the arms, lift way up, and fold. And then from here, bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Yay. Now take the feet hip width and inhale here, exhale, come into your Uttanasana forward fold. Pull the belly away from your fingers here. And then you can grab the back of your legs. And notice, are your hips behind your ankles? Can you roll your shoulders back and draw the shoulders down and wide? And maybe if you can straighten the legs, pull yourself a little forward. But it doesn't even matter if you're out here. Just go to where you can go. Right? Just feeling, you just want to feel the back of the legs. So engage the front to feel the back. And then inhale, halfway up. Let's take the hands on the waist and come all the way up. Samastitihi. And now we're ready for the standing postures. So I'm going to go ahead and set the blocks up. One in the front and one in the back. And then we'll step out and we're going to turn the left foot in and the right foot out for Warrior Two. So take a breath in and slowly find your way into Warrior Two. So you're not leaning forward, you're just right in the middle and just a gentle gaze down the right fingertips. You're trying to make a nice right angle here, but it doesn't have to be exact. And breathe, inhale and exhale. Let's build Utthita Parshvakonasana. So take your forearm on your front leg. I like this circle of the arm. It just feels like it puts the shoulder in a really nice place, like you're rolling that arm. And then you can go ahead and take your hand down, maybe to the block if you want to. And then your head, start by gazing down and then slowly turning, maybe straight ahead. Maybe it feels good to look up. And then from here, we're going to come into Pavrita Trikonasana. So look down for a moment. Start to straighten your front leg. It's a nice wide one. And I had to adjust my block, so my hand is right under my armpit. And then I'm reaching straight up with the left arm. Again, just slowly, you can look down and then change your gaze. And notice how that feels in the neck. And breathe, breathe. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale here and rise up. And we'll go to the other side. So turning the feet. First, coming into Warrior Two. So it's like you arrive in Warrior Two. And then you gaze. Virabhadrasana, Warrior. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. I feel this nice opening. And then the support of the back leg. Inhale. And then let's come to Utthita Parshvakonasana. Forearm can come on. Circle the arm. I'm going to use the block, but you could stay on your thigh if you wanted to. And then look down first, start to turn the head and see how that feels. Where do you want to go with your head and neck today? And then from here, we're going to come into Trikonasana, Utthita Trikonasana. So reach the right arm up. You'll want to move the block back a little so it's under the armpit. Reaching up, look down for a moment. Inhale here and start to change the gaze. Start to really straighten your front leg as best you can and take it to where it feels good in your neck. And then inhale, rise up. And from here, we're going to come into Prasarita Padottanasana, spread out pose, right? Nice and wide. So take your hands to your waist. Inhale, exhale, come forward. Nice stretch to the back of the legs. Take the hands down, walk your head through, or you can put it on a block. Right? Now try to really draw the shoulders down and wide. Really notice where you are there. And maybe making a right angle at your elbows, shoulders down, really engage the legs. And then inhale, look up and lengthen. Hands on the waist and rise up. I'm going to use my towel here, but you could use an exercise band or a yoga belt, right? Or you could maybe interlace your hands behind your back. So I'm using the corners of the towel. And this is just a really good shoulder stretch. So the shoulders will internally rotate. And as you come forward, it really starts to open up for more shoulder extension. So start to come forward, which is great for arm balances. Coming forward, opening, reaching. I'm taking my head down now. And then I'm really just going where my hands want to go. Not forcing, just allowing. And breathing. Inhaling, noticing where I feel the stretch. Is it even? And then inhale, rise up. Super important to keep the shoulders open and strong, right? For any arm balance. And then from here, let's just come into a goddess pose. So turn out. We'll just come into prayer position. And try to prevent sticking your butt out, right? It's like you're coming straight down and you're trying to open the knees and then you're trying to stay straight up for this variation and breathe. Just noticing it's nice on the rotators. They're opening and then the inner thighs stretch. Breathe. See how much you can sink here. And then rise up. And then we're going to turn to the right. So both hips are facing the same direction. Inhale, lift the sternum. And we're going to start to come forward. A variation of Parshvottanasana. We'll use the block though. So whatever level works in your body, you can really just press and pull that right hip back. Keep breathing here, straight legs. Inhale, look up and lengthen. We're going to take it to Pavrita Trikonasana. So whatever level you want the block, it goes right outside of your right foot. Take your left hand on the block and start to twist, pulling your right hip back. Lengthen the crown of your head away from the tailbone. Turn the left ribs to the right and slowly let the head come with you. And breathe. And then inhale, rise up. It takes a lot of balance. It's a good pose. Really strong foundation. Inhale here, and let's come to the other side. Come forward. You can take your block and you can move it out. Whatever level is working in your body, try to square the hips. So I'm really pulling this left hip back and down, and breathe. Straight legs. And then inhale, look up and lengthen. We're going to move the block to the outside of the left foot. Place the right hand on the block. Pull the left hip back and then reach up. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, and then start to turn. And maybe you can look up, maybe straight ahead, whatever feels better in your body. And then inhale, you have to really use the legs a lot. And come all the way up. And Samastitihi. Now we're ready to come into a balance pose, and we'll come into Vrksasana. Vrksasana is tree pose, but handstand is Adho Mukha Vrksasana, upside down tree. So we're taking the foundation from our feet to our hands. So in this pose, we're in the feet still, so we're just going to take tree pose. And in this variation, see if you can take your hands together. You can use the wall and reach the arms up. And now I want you to try something. Just gazing down your nose. Can you close your eyes or soften? What happens? Whoa, the foundation, right? And slowly come down. It's kind of a cool thing to play with. Let's go to the other side. And I think it's very humbling too. So take the left foot up. Taking your time to get there, you really want your tail under, trying to open that knee, firm foundation in the right leg. Take the hands together in prayer position, begin to reach up, and then a gentle gaze down your nose. What happens if you close your eyes or soften them? Whoa! And breathe and slowly come down. It's crazy what happens, but give it a go. It's kind of fun. We're going to now make our way over to the wall where we're going to come into some variations of Adho Mukha Vrksasana. So we made it over to the wall, and now we're just going to come into a prep pose here for the incline plank. So just take your hands and push back. And sometimes when we're doing this in a yoga class, we're really focusing on stretching the hamstrings, so we lift the butt like this and arch the low back. In a handstand, the straight handstand is not so desirable. You want to try and pull the belly in and pull the ribs in, so the ribs aren't flaring and the butt's not sticking out. You're really pushing and pulling that tail under and really reaching through the shoulders, straightening the arms. The shoulders are rolling away from your ears and they're elevated. And you just feel that for a moment. And then go ahead and rise up. So that's the feeling we're going to try to mimic as we come into this. So I'm going to turn my body around. I'm going to put my hands down on the floor, kind of where my feet were, and then come into a downward facing dog with your heels lifted. So you can adjust your hands for that, whatever you need. We're coming into the incline plank, which is something my 80-year-old students are doing. So I know this is accessible for a lot of people. There might be fear. That's okay. Just try and breathe through it. And if it feels scary, don't do it. Just take it a step at a time. So we're just going to lift one leg up and see what that feels like. Now, can you push your foot against the wall? You don't want your shoulders to come too far forward as you come up. That'll take the strength away. So lift up and see if you can then walk back. And try and get your chest to go towards the wall, not forward. Once you're here, get the tail under and the ribs in. You can gaze to the mat and just breathe and just stay here. You can feel the strength happening. And then to come down slowly. See if you can step down. And if you did that, great. You will have accomplished a lot. And maybe you needed a few steps to get up there. That's okay. But if you were successful in that, you might be able to move to the next one. So your shoulders will have to be a little bit more open for this one. You come down, you come into your down dog again. You start the same way, but this time we're going to come into the L shape, right? So the shoulders are going to come a little bit right over the wrists this time instead of being towards the wall. So you get your shoulders over your wrists and then you walk up and you find that nice L shape. Pull the belly in. And if this is going well, maybe you want to play with lifting a leg. But don't lift them both. You could go overboard. And then you can try the other one. And then putting it down. And then slowly you can make your way down. Either one is good, and it's sometimes the incline plank will open you up enough to then go to the L shape. Some people might have it in their bodies and they want to try just a little jump. That's okay. But let's do it safely, and it has to be light. And if it doesn't feel right in your body, you probably aren't ready to do it yet. So we'll take the hands to the floor, pretty close to the wall. You'll have a favorite leg. Your body will just tell you what that is. And then try to get your shoulders over your hands. And just with the leg on the floor, your foundation leg, just give a little hop. What does that feel like, right? You'll know. And if it feels okay, then maybe you want to try and find that L shape, and then maybe you come to the wall. And then you elevate again. Just feel what that feels like, tail under. And then to come out, let's just come real slowly if you made it this far. Really slowly. Really slowly. Keep pressing through your hands. So the whole thing is very light. And you may not even aspire to go that far. That's okay. The incline plank is a wonderful way to build strength for handstands. Now we're going to take it down to the floor. So let's come to the front of the mat, Samastitihi. We built up all that energy. Now we can unwind. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold. And then from here, look up and lengthen. Go ahead and take your body back. Let's come down to the knees. Let's make our way into like a nice seated position for meditation, Virasana. I have to use blocks because of my osteoarthritis in my knees. But this feels pretty comfortable when I do this. And so I'm happy. So I'm also going to create space in the back of the knees to come down. And then from here, I can just feel really rooted, right? Nice foundation so I can lift up. And I love Yana Mudra, as you know, it's the mudra of knowledge. And it's your intuition and your inspiration joining together in a circle. And you can just sit up and be that. And just notice, can you feel a lightness after that handstand attempt or wherever you took it? Maybe there was some fear. And just breathe and let that go. And we'll stay here for a moment in a nice meditation. And then when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes, let's take this into a back bend. So reach the arms up. Reach way up. You could maybe even want to join the hands. Don't take the head back yet. Just lift up, 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 up. Then maybe gazing down the nose. Maybe the head comes too. It feels like a celebration of light. It's, I don't know, airy-fairy as it sounds. I really feel that. And then slowly let the hands come down. And then let's make our way over to the knees and we'll come into Ustrasana just for a nice back bend. So let's take the blocks and put one at each ankle. And using the blocks makes it accessible and light. So that's what we want today. So rooting down through the knees, right? That's your foundation. Feel the tail draw under. Really feel that sense of drawing under so you're not in your low back and opens the hip flexors that way. And we're going to take the circular entrance. So let's go ahead and just look over the left shoulder. Take your left hand down Circle the right arm and reach up. And just keep reaching up, up to go back, up to go back. And you don't have to come to the other block. You could just stay here. Just reach. And then we'll circle and come back. And then we'll do the other side. Just a nice celebration after all those back bends. So look over your right shoulder, circle the left arm, reach up, keep the tail under, reach up to go back, up to go back, up to go back, and then circle and come on out. Great. We're going to make our way down to the floor. So let's go ahead and just take the legs up. You can take your blocks behind you. And if you're working on this, work on lifting up, lifting up, lifting up to go down. And then we find ourselves in Dandasana. And from Dandasana, just lift way up. It's like I'm pressing the legs down into the floor, engaging the front of the legs. Inhale here, keeping the low back nice and lengthened. Paschimottanasana. Whatever variation you want, you could have your hands on the ground and the shoulders are drawing down your back. Just release here, breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. It's fine to be anywhere you are. And then inhale, look up and lengthen and rise up. Let's find our way down to the floor now. So we're going to do a nice roll back. So just sitting way up, inhale here. Exhale, start to curl your spine back. So if you needed to, you could use your hands, right? You could even hold on to the back of your legs. And we're just making our way down, curling. Exhale, coming back up. Do that again. Inhale, exhale, curl back. Curling. And then curling to come back up. And then this time we'll go all the way down. Exhale, curling back. You could use your hands, coming all the way down. And then from here, bending the knees. We'll come into an articulating bridge. So tuck the tail under, lift up. Whatever arm variation feels good in your body. I like this one because it doesn't squish my shoulders together. It allows them to draw down my back and wide. At the same time, I can really find length in my neck. So I'm not too far back, I'm not too far forward. It's right in the middle. Just feels nice. And breathe here. Take a few breaths, really feeling activation of the glutes. And then slowly, you can even lift your heels. Curl the tail under and let the butt curl down, all the way down. And then once you're here, let's get a nice glute stretch. So let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. And if you can, pull in. You can use that right elbow to open the knee. Just feel the glutes open on that right side. Breathing. And for a little deeper stretch, I'm going to go ahead and cross a little tightly like this. But just do the best you can. You can feel that out, what works in your body, right? And breathe here. You can change the angle at the knee. You can roll in. Just see what you, or maybe you're staying with the first one, whatever feels best in your body. This goes deep into the piriformis. It's quite nice. And then wherever you are, we're going to take it into a twist. So you could still be here, up to you. And then from here, I'm just going to take the legs over to the left. And you could gaze straight up. Or maybe you're working your right shoulder in the direction of the floor. It doesn't have to be all the way down. And you can change your gaze to the right. Breathing, we're just releasing. We've built our foundation, and now we're gently releasing. The support is there, so we don't have to worry about it. Let's do the other side. So let the left ankle cross over the right knee, and pull in, and breathe. I love how if we can build a strong foundation for who we are and fulfilled in who we are, we can really be there for other people. That's why I love having my yoga practice. And let's go ahead and cross if you want to. Come deep. And breathe. You can change the angle at the knees. And just take it to where it feels good in your body. And then we're going to come into the twist. So you could still be here, whatever feels good, and take the legs over. And gently, I'm going to roll this left shoulder open and change my gaze a little bit more to the left. And breathe. Feels so nice. It's a nice release. And then inhale, come back. And then go ahead, let your legs come up for a moment. You could come into happy baby. Just kind of roll around a bit. And then find your way, finally, into Savasana, where you can just completely let go. You can let go. The foundation is there. It's not going anywhere. And stay in that state of fulfillment and trust and ease. And you could stay here as long as you want or can, but I'm going to go ahead and take us out. So just become aware of the breath, slowly starting to move the fingers and the toes. And as you're ready, staying in this state, pull the knees in and roll to the side, pausing in your fetal position for a moment. And then taking your time to find your way up to seated. And then once you're here, just taking a moment to sit up, fully engaged within, feeling that foundation and that fulfillment and trusting it and taking it wherever you go and whatever you do. Namaste.